Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sammy here, and today I am joined by my lovely friend Meg, and I've got a speed build for you. And while we're doing this, or while it's playing in the background, we're going to be doing the 56 first time quest tag. Speaking of first times, Meg here is actually doing a Mr. Beast Minecraft build contest for the first time herself. Isn't that right, Meg?
Yep.
So, yeah, let's just get right into it. First app you check when you wake up. For me, it's always Discord. Always, always, always Discord.
Yeah, same. Probably Discord, and then the second would probably be YouTube.
For me, it's probably, when I first wake up, I check Discord, and then I go downstairs and then I check Twitter and Facebook. But I don't check them regularly, so like sometimes I don't check them. So, number two?
Yeah, sometimes I forget to check Discord.
Really, I forget Twitter, but not Discord. I check Discord regularly. Okay, number two, that one really had much substance. Number two, first broken bone. I think my first broken bone was I broke my arm, and I broke it really bad when I fell off the roof decorating for Christmas. Because I was on the roof,
Oh my gosh.
or was it my leg? No, I think I broke my leg after my arm. Because the same thing happened the next year when I fell off, and the lights like wrapped around my leg as I fell, and like wrapped all the way around my leg, and I fell. And I didn't just fall. Like if I would have fell, I would probably have been okay because I would have fallen in the snow. But the lights caught around my leg, and when I fell, the lights tightened and yanked my leg really hard, and like it broke my
Oh.
leg. What about
Oh,
you?
okay, that sounds like it could have killed you. I never had a broken bone.
Really? Well, of course, I should have expected as much. Like she's Little Miss Sunshine over here. Little Miss Goody Two Shoes never does anything wrong.
Yo, I just try not to get hurt or anything.
Number three, first foreign country you ever visited. Just, I guess it'd have to be England. When I went to Salisbury for an exchange program.
How long were you there, though?
Not too long. Like it was just for like a semester, but it felt a lot longer. What about you? Where was the first place you visited?
I never left the country. I've mainly been to a lot of states like Georgia and New York and Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Well, if you want to count the first time you traveled somewhere else that wasn't where you were from, that would probably be when I went to California. But I think the question was, yeah, foreign country. So yeah, Meg's lived a very sheltered life. Number four, first Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook post. Oh God, like how could I remember that? Do you remember yours? Well,
Well, I remember mine on Instagram.
Really, what was it of?
It's on my profile picture. That was how I came up with my profile. I made my profile. I put on Instagram. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep this as my profile. So I just made it my profile from now on.
Really, you've had that for that long?
Yeah, I put the profile up in like 2018 or 2019, and I've had it ever since.
I can pretty much guess that my first post was probably something like pertaining to like an event that we've done. I would imagine it was probably for the Christmas festival. Let me look all the way back here. No, it was actually when I did the Q&A. I posted that I'll be doing a question answer later this week. So I actually recorded the Q&A, but I never posted it because I lost the file for it on my computer. because that was right
No,
before
that stinks.
my computer crashed in 2019. The next
So when
question
your
is that.
computer crashed, that means you lost everything then?
Yeah, everything I had on my computer. Number
Dang, that
5,
stinks.
first makeup item. Like the first makeup product we were allowed to wear, or like the first. Because that's a very different question. For me, the very first thing I always apply is like a very thin layer of primer. Although sometimes I skip the primer and just do like the foundation. But if we're talking like the first product that we ever used, probably mine would be like a lipstick, like a pink lipstick.
I think the first and only makeup I've ever used was mascara. Or not. It was like, no, not mascara. It was like, see, I don't even use makeup, so I don't even know all of the things. It was like this thing that made your eyelashes look darker. I don't know what that's called.
Mascara. You had it right.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was right. I wore that for a little while, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of annoying to wear, so I took it off, and that was like the only makeup I ever wore.
Have you ever worn like false eyelashes?
No, like I never put eyelashes on, like one of those eyelashes. Dang, I don't know anything about makeup.
They make these new ones I really want to try with like magnets. I think how it works is you glue the magnet on your eyelashes, and then you just put the piece with the magnet on the magnet, and like you can take them off and put them on, take them on and put them off, and reuse the eyelashes over and over again, or until like the
You
magnet
can
falls
have a
off. I can't
you
find them
can have a
anywhere.
magnet as your eyelashes,
Uh, it's
or
like a
for your
magnet.
eyelashes.
Yeah, you glue the magnet on, and then you put the eyelashes on. The eyelashes have magnets in them.
Wow, that is so weird. I've never heard of that.
It's fairly new. I haven't even
I
been able to
imagine
try it
it's
myself
work.
yet.
Oh, you should let me know then when you eventually use it, because that sounds pretty interesting to me.
Will do. Number 6, the first plane ride you ever went on. Probably my trip to Hawaii. Or not my
I've
trip to
never been
Hawaii.
on a plane, but
My it obviously is my trip to Salisbury, but after that, like it would probably be my trip to Hawaii.
I've never been on a plane before. Like the closest thing for me was this like 13-hour drive to Georgia. It was a very painful drive.
That's why we take planes. I have a feeling the more we get into this, like the
Thank God.
more obvious it's gonna be. Like Meg is very sheltered, and I'm like the more adventurous one. Number 7, the first time you ever got in trouble at home and school. Julie, would you like to go first this time?
I'm trying to remember what I could have done wrong at school. The thing is, at school, I always like listened to the teacher. I think closest thing was when I stopped listening to the teacher one day and was just being really annoying in the class, and the teacher didn't let me like do anything because of that. I think that was like the only time I ever got in trouble in school.
I think the first time I ever got in trouble at home was when I must have been like really little. I don't even really remember. I just remember everyone telling me that I did this, so I was like, okay. And I saw a video because my mother used to record. My sister Stella was like wearing like high heels, and she's wearing like this pretty dress and a tiara, and she's like twirling around, and she's standing on a carpet. And I must have been like 3 or 4 years old, and I saw that she's on the carpet, and I was at the edge of the carpet, and my mom was filming her like, look how pretty Stella is. Isn't like look there's our little passion star. and I grabbed the carpet while she was standing on the carpet, and I literally yanked the rug out from under her, and she fell down and hurt herself. And
Oh, so sad.
my mom got so mad at me. She took me in my room, and I honestly don't remember what happened after that, but that was probably the first time I ever got in trouble at home. And then at school, let's see. Probably when I was giving this kid a hand job in the janitor's closet.
The heck?
Yeah.
Gosh, what? Okay.
And the funny part was, I thought that was what sex was. But that was not what sex was. That is a hand job and not sex. Some people will tell you differently, but they're just like trying to cover up the fact they're a virgin. So yeah, very big gap between me and her. Number 8, the first time
Yeah,
you're
like I
allowed to
said,
put on makeup.
the first time what?
Probably first time you were allowed to put on makeup, because some parents don't let their kids wear makeup. I wasn't really ever not allowed to wear makeup, because as I said with Stella, I don't know if I've mentioned this before on the channel, but I did pageants myself as well. My mother did put me in like toddler pageants, beauty pageants, all that types of stuff. So from a very early age, like she was actually putting it on for me, like very heavy, thick hooker makeup. Has anyone ever really questioned like why all these child beauty pageants? They're parading the kids around like literally, like they're literally making them like hookers, strippers. Like
I
I know
hate
you're not a
that.
stripper, but shake your booty a little, like stuff like that. And
I
like
feel like
these are
some of the judges
children.
are probably just pedophiles.
Well, I know a lot of times too, like when we wanted to like get a good win, like she like remember, give the judge eyes like you want to make love to him. And uh, I won a lot because I was apparently good at that. But I
That
think
is so creepy. What the heck?
it's unfortunate because I think beauty pageants or child pageants are a really important thing for children because it helps establish confidence. But in the same vein, the stuff that goes on during the pageants, like the dances, the provocative costumes, and like all the makeup and stuff, I feel like it's sending the wrong type of message. So I feel like we need to replace the pageants with something that's like, I don't know, like dance competitions for children. Like I know that exists already now, but it's not as mainstream as like, because you're in the South, you know that there's going to be like a ton of like pageant moms that are entering their daughters in like these competitions and parading them around like a prostitute, streetwalker, call girl, and for the trophies and stuff, but like there isn't really the same type of like prestige in the dance community as there is in the pageant community. But yeah, I was always allowed to wear makeup. I was never not allowed to wear makeup.
I always, like, I was never not allowed to wear makeup. I just never wanted to wear makeup. I don't know why. I think I just never got into it.
Alright, and the next question is number 9. First YouTuber you subscribed to?
I remember the closest two YouTubers I was probably subscribed to were either Quackity or this guy named A Dose of Buckley. Joseph Buckley is a comedian in Canada, and Quacky used to make Toontown videos, and I really liked Toontown, so I was subbed to him. It's like the closest thing I could remember for subscribers.
I honestly can't remember the first YouTuber I subscribed to. I know one of the early ones that I subscribed to. Although, did I subscribe to her or did I just watch her videos? Huh. I don't think I ever actually subscribed to her. Well,
Who?
let me. I used to watch this girl called Jenna Marbles, but I don't think I ever actually subscribed to her. So now I'm actually looking on my subscribe list and seeing like who was the first person I subscribed to my subscription list. I think it was an art and craft channel. Uh, it couldn't have been Gentle Whispering, because like I subscribed to her so much later in life. I can't remember. That's gonna be a pattern too of me not remembering who I subscribed or me not remembering anything that goes back too far. I think it would probably have to be one of my friends at the time, So Tony J. But I feel like even then I was subscribed to somebody sooner. I just can't remember. Pity. Oh well.
Who was he?
Number 10. Tony is a girl who does Sims Let's Plays, but she doesn't post anymore. She actually started by doing craft videos.
Uh,
And I think that's why I liked her, because she did craft videos, but she hasn't uploaded in a very long time.
that stinks.
First time you went shopping on your own? Probably, uh, actually, Jill, you go first, because your memory's a lot sharper than mine.
Actually, I don't remember anything about this because it was probably not that interesting, so I skipped.
I think the first time I went shopping by myself was when I was wee little, and I was shopping with my mom and my family. My mom used to take like the whole family shopping a lot of the times when she couldn't get a sitter, and it was absolute chaos. Like she could not keep us kids under control. And a lot of times she would bribe us. She would say, all right, if you behave, if you're the best behaved, I will let you buy one thing from the store. And it was one time, it was like close to Valentine's Day. I was completely quiet. I just kind of stood next to the cart and I didn't say anything. I didn't touch anything. And um, I said to my mom, "Can I get this wiener dog plush?" or something like that effect. It might have been something else. I'm pretty sure it's the wiener dog. Might have been a bunny, I can't remember. And or maybe it was like a little pet shop. It doesn't matter. So she's like, okay, here's the money. Go in. Don't get hit by a car. Don't get snatched up by a pedophile. And I was like, okay. And I walked in, got my toy, walked out, and I had my toy. And I was so happy. And I almost got hit by a car on the way out, but I didn't care because I already had my plush. So I got
How
back
old were
in.
you?
I had to be like really little because I was still able to ride in the cart sometimes. I think I was like about 4 or 5.
And she said don't get knocked up by any pedophiles or something like that. What the heck?
She
So
said don't get
weird.
snatched up by she said don't get snatched up by a pedophile because I was a really pretty little
It's like
girl,
the same thing.
and well she said not to like don't get kidnapped basically, like keep your wits about you, don't let your guard down, you know.
Yeah, I see them.
Like my mom was really like pushing for us to be independent as soon as possible. So I was doing a lot by the time I was like 4 or 5. I was like doing laundry, cooking, cleaning. I was tending the animals on the farm. Like Julie thinks it's like child labor abuse or something like that, but I think she's just like super sheltered.
Probably.
Number 11. First boyfriend or girlfriend? My first boyfriend was not the guy I gave the hand job to in kindergarten, but it was probably
What?
my first
What?
serious boyfriend. I think my first serious boyfriend was probably a guy named, we're gonna call him Baby right now. And he was like in this gang, and we actually met when he tried to mug me, and I beat him senselessly with my purse full of rocks for a school project. I think I was making a diorama of the waterfall one. What's it called? The Niagara Falls. And uh, I ended up dragging him back to my house and tying him up in a shed that nobody used. It was actually like our playhouse. And I slowly conditioned him to love me, and we almost got married. But right before the wedding, my cousin Olive came, and she's like poisoned his mind against me. Saying like, you don't really love her. You're just with her because you never been with anyone else. And I think Julie would have had the same problem in that situation because she's only ever been with one guy. Seriously, I think can think of. Isn't that right, Julie?
No comment.
I'm pretty sure Kevin
Oh
was her
no,
first
my dog's
boyfriend.
freaking out.
Number 12, my first car.
Alright.
My first car was actually a Hummer truck, but the first car I learned to drive in was my older brother's pickup truck. But if you want to talk cars specifically, my first car was my fiance at the time, the same guy from the last question. He was really into fixing up cars, so he found this old clunker. It was a Lincoln Continental, and he spent a lot of time, a lot of money fixing it up for me. And it's the same car I still have to this day. I love that car. It's a really nice car. And he found it in a scrapyard. What's the first car you've had?
Interesting. He turned garbage into gold teeth, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. And I know a lot of people do that, like my
Oh
cousin
wow, that's
Anthony.
pretty cool.
My cousin Anthony found this Jaguar in a scrapyard. I can't remember what was wrong with it. It's like in a wreck or something, and the whole thing was like basically demolished. Door was missing. It was rusted. The tires popped off, and he enjoyed fixing it, and he fixed it up, and it made it beautiful. A lot of guys like to take an old junker clunker car and make it into something that's like really fabulous. So that's pretty cool. What about you? What was your first car?
I don't know. I'm not really good with cars. Like, I think the closest thing was like this gray average car. It's not even mine though.
I see. If it's not yours, who is it then? Your mom's?
Yeah, it's my dad's. I'm
Okay.
practicing driving right now.
Good luck to you then. I'm sure all the pedestrians will hope for the best. First celebrity crush, number 13. My first celebrity crush was Zac Efron, but I realized that he aged very badly. Like some people say he doesn't have a dad bod, but he totally has a dad bod now, compared to like that super hot stripper body he had back when he was in like High School Musical. What about you? Who
I
was your
honestly
first celebrity
forgot who he
crush?
was until you mentioned it. I don't think I had one. I don't really remember having one, really. I mean, celebrities are cool, but I never, like, loved them or anything.
Alright, who was your first regular crush? My first crush was actually my cousin-in-law. We're gonna call him Diva, and he turned out to be gay, which was devastating to me. But looking back now, I realized like I'm glad he was gay and didn't like me because he was gay. Because if we had ended up together, I would have ended up hating him. I would have ended up hating him so much because my cousin Sky, who's with him now, their marriage is like an absolute disaster. I talk about it a lot on streams, but yeah, it's not a pretty relationship. What about you?
Why, what's
Was your
going on with him?
Oh gosh. Well, for starters, they're polyamorous and married, so each of them they're married to
Oh,
each
no.
other, but then they each have like their side boyfriend who they have sex with on a regular basis, and they don't really talk much anymore. They live in separate houses. Half the time they live in separate states. Like, it's not pretty. I don't know how they managed to keep their
Are they
marriage intact.
even? Not even. It sounds like they're not even married then. If they're doing everything that a married couple would do, and they don't even live together, like, or like they're not doing anything together at all. Like, really? I don't really think they're married then. Doesn't really sound like it.
I think they're just married for like the tax benefit at this point because, like, Sky is really clingy. He's super needy, very emotional. Like, he wants to constantly be around the person he's with, and he's also a total man whore. Versus Tina, who's more, he values his solitude more, and he likes privacy more, and he doesn't like guys who are needy.
I don't think anyone likes needy guys or needy women as well. I think being too needy is not good.
Well, who was your first crush?
I don't really remember. The thing is, it's really hard for me to like find crushes. Like, I never really thought about it ever. That's the thing with me. I don't know. I'd have to skip.
First ever boyfriend, number 16. My first boyfriend was a guy named
I
James, and
skip.
I actually shared him with a bunch of other girls because he was like Mr. Popular, and I was immediately into him. I think I ended up going all the way with him too. And it was sad because I think he faked his own death to get away from all the women that he was with. Because he had like he had like a full complete harem of women. But he still holds a special place in my heart to this day.
Why was he really nice to you?
That and he was like super hot and really good in bed. Number
Okay
17.
then.
My first ever cell phone. It is this one right here. I still
iPhone
actually
6.
have my first phone right here. It's a Samsung by T-Mobile, and it's a flip phone, or not a flip phone, but like the it has like the green button and the red button on top. Then you push it, and you have the numbers underneath, like the old-fashioned Blackberries, and it still works. I do not have like the back of it, like the battery thing popped out, so I was gonna keep it in like this carrying case to keep the battery in. But yeah, I still have my first ever phone. It is extremely old. I got it in like 2013, 2012. Like probably sooner than that even. Like it was probably closer to like 2008. But I don't really feel there's a need to replace it because it still works. I will replace it when it breaks. I had newer phones. Like I had the iPhone 6 like mag over here, but I dropped mine constantly. I broke it constantly. This one, I've literally thrown it at people. Like, I've thrown my phone at people, and, like, they've had blood coming out of their skull. And the phone's still in perfectly good condition. Number 18, first date ever. Uh, Julie, do you want to go first? I can't remember mine.
And mine's nah. I skip.
I think my first ever date was with this guy. My mother really liked him. He was literally the preacher's son, and we ended up going all the way on the first date. And I remember it was like one of the worst times, one of the worst uh, experiences in the boudoir I've ever had with anyone ever. He was all wet and sweaty and super cold, and he had the fan on and the window open. It was like super cold, and he was like all slimy because it was like so cold, but he was like sweating like crazy. It felt really gross. And then it only lasted for like 10 minutes. Like it's supposed to be like an hour, and you're done in like 10 minutes. No, you don't get no second date, buddy.
Okay
Number
then.
number 19, my first ever girlfriend. Uh, Skip, because I've never had a girlfriend. I'm assuming you've never had one either.
Yep, same.
My first ever kiss, number 20. Do family kisses count? Like if like my grandma kissing me on the forehead counts, then I probably don't remember. But like if it's like your first like real kiss like with tongue, then that would probably be when I was on my date with James.
Yeah, I can't answer most of these questions because I've never done any of that stuff.
My first friend in college. I did not go to college, so skip.
I'm in college. I just haven't made a friend yet since I just started.
Alright, well, maybe we'll keep us posted on that, like in the comments. First ever heartbreak, number 23. I don't think I've ever really been heartbroken before. Usually I'm the one doing the heartbreaking. What about you, Julie? Or Meg? I call her Julie sometimes because of her wizard and wizarding one, which is the name of the guild, by the way.
It's fine. Thank you. It's fine. I don't really know. Like, I've never really been with anybody. So I guess I've never experienced it.
First ever Instagram post, I 100% do not remember.
My profile. I think I already said that though.
First ever internet activity, number 25. Probably playing Wizard 101. Unless you don't count like social, in that case, it'd probably be playing games on the Cartoon Network website. Back in the day of when you picked up, if you were online and tried to make a phone call, it would go like you know that sound the internet made when you try to call and you're on the internet. I'm probably dating myself horribly with
No, I
this.
was only like 4. I was so little. Like, I don't even think I'd remember.
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. When you were online and you tried to make a phone call, it would make this like awful internet startup noise, like this. Dial-up
Thank
internet
God I
noise.
don't have to hear that.
I played a clip of it so they'll actually hear it in the thing. What was your first
Okey-doke.
internet activity?
I remember I used to play Toontown a lot. And I also used to play Command and Conquer. And that was when online was a thing, but I never played online because I was so little. So I guess
Oh,
the closest thing I can remember is Toontown.
did you ever get into the Club Penguin fiasco?
No.
Oh, good, okay, good girl. I
I
figured you
always hated
wouldn't.
Club Penguin.
At this point, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get to all 56 questions before the video ends, but let us know if you want to hear a part 2, and we might consider doing that. But for now, let's just try to get through as many as we can get through before we run out of time on this. And the next question is my first ever job, probably working in a day spa. I would have to clean up all the rooms after each person was in there. What about you, Julie or Megan? What was your first job?
I had a job, but I feel like the closest one, or the first one, I would be working at Wawa. But right now I can't get a job because I have a 9-year-old grandpa and no one wants him to get sick.
I'm sure you could find a lot of good jobs everywhere.
And other reasons.
My first language, I think for both of us, it is English.
Of course it is.
First love, probably James.
Well, a bunch of them are just James for you. How old were you both when you both started dating then? I would assume like
I was,
13 or
I was,
something.
I think I was like 15 and he was like 18 going on 19. Or no, it was 17, no, it was 18. Yeah, I was right the first time. It was 18 going on 19. So there was a quite sizable age gap, but I didn't care.
Interesting.
What about you? Who was your first love?
I'm not sure. Trying to think. Can't really think of the questions that have to do with love. Like I just never really thought about that when I was little.
I'm surprised you're not answering Kevin for every single one.
Because I know that he's not really the first for most of them. That's the thing. I just don't remember any of these type of questions because it was so long ago and like meh to me.
Well, that's the end of the video, but I think we can do one more or two more so we can get to like an even 30 questions. And then we're going to call it. So my first pet was probably my cat. No, it was the cat. It was the. Julie, do you want to go first? Because I cannot remember.
Cat named Tom, and I used to have fish, but I accidentally overfed them and killed them. I feel so bad about that. I was so little though. I'm sorry, I feel so bad.
Okay, I
I was
have
like,
three
why are they
different.
floating? I was like,
Oh, they're no longer with us. I think my first pet, I have three
I
different.
was like,
I'm sorry,
dang, I'm
go on.
sorry, stupid Discord. I remember I was like 5, so I didn't really know what that meant. I just wanted to always feed them because I thought they always wanted food, and then they died. I was like, oh, why are they floating? It's weird.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad and also so funny at the same time.
I don't know whether to laugh or be sad about it still because I felt so bad about it when I realized what I did.
I bet. Uh, I have three for my first pet, depending on how you want to look at the answer. So there was my family dog. His name was Toby. I'm pretty sure it might have been Jason. And then, or was it Jason or was it Toby? No, it had to be Toby because I can remember Toby, and I know that Jason was after Toby, and that's when I got the tiger. And then they're also my like if I want to call it like a non-living on traditional pets. I had my squirrel skull. I found a skull of a squirrel, and I just kept skull around with me, and I loved that skull like it was my own child. And then one day I come home from school and my skull was missing. And I'm thinking to myself, where's my skull? I can't remember what I named it. Where's my skull? Where's my skull? I think I called it like Chi Chi
Sully.
or something. And to this
Cottage.
day, I have no idea what happened to it, but I have strong suspicion that my mother thought it was really creepy that I was like carrying around a skull and I was like petting the skull and kissing the skull and like I would sleep in bed with the skull and I take the skull everywhere and I'm sure I turned a few heads when like I'm skipping down the sidewalk walking my pet skull. So they ended up just tossing it somewhere.
The same
And then
mom that had a dead cat somewhere just traumatized children with.
yep, that's another thing. My mother was a total hypocrite. Like she had like a double standard for like herself and then like her kids. Like it almost reminds me of like Amber Raven's song. From like she'll just curse all the time, troll people, harass people, break all her own rules. But then if anyone else so much as slips up like just once, like mute, ban, like total double standard.
Just dumb.
I know. But if you want
Yeah,
to count like my
it's really
first
bad at having
living,
ego.
yeah, but if it's like my first living pet that was like mine specifically, then it'd probably be my chinchilla. I think I named him Fluffle and Puff. I had two of them. Fluffle Puff, the chinchillas.
Aw. Those are some cute names.
Or maybe my budgie. I had a budgie too. I think the budgie came after the chinchillas though. And lastly, well, it's not lastly, there's more questions, but this is the last question we're going to do. Number 30, my first piercing and when did I get it? I got my ears pierced a long, long time ago in the mall. And I
Wow,
think it
same.
was like when I was. Really, it's the same. You got your ears pierced in the mall?
Yep.
How old were you when you got it? I was 13.
I was like 4.
Oh, you got your ears pierced really young then.
It was interesting. I remember everything about it.
Oh, I just looked at the very last question. Alright, well, we're gonna end this part here. But if you want to see a part two, we might do one on Julie's channel or Megan's channel. So watch out for that. If we decide to do it, we probably won't do it. I don't know. Do you want to do a part two on your channel?
Yeah, probably.
I saw the, I saw the last question. It's a real doozy.
Oh boy, I'm curious to what the question is, but at the same time, I know I'm never gonna upload.
We could do a part two on my channel if you want.
Maybe.
Okay, you heard it first. We may be doing a part two to this. Uh, and I will put links in the description towards Margaret's channel for her awesome, incredible Minecraft build. I'm looking at it now and I'm like just completely bewildered by the amount of skill and raw talent she has. Like I could never build anything as elaborate as what she's doing for. So I hope she wins the Mr. Beast
Thank
contest.
you.
Like I'd be surprised if she doesn't. But yeah, that's all I have for you
Um,
today. I know we didn't really talk about the build much, uh, but there wasn't really much to talk about. But yeah, if you want to download it into your own game, I have both variations of this build. The one with the smaller top piece castle tower part, and then I have the other one that I did first, that one, and I have both of them up for download, so you can download them both, whatever one you like better. And yeah, let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos. I'm definitely going to be doing more speed build videos. I don't know how much of them are going to be Wizard 101 specific. I kind of like doing the Wizard 101 builds where I can like look at them and then build some and then look at the actual reference again because I did this entirely from memory, which is why it doesn't look quite right. Like another thing that's really hard too is like the Wizard 101 houses are way bigger inside than they are outside, so you always have to like choose. Do you want to make it more accurate inside or more accurate outside? I've always hated that. But yeah, that's all for you today, and I shall see you through the screen. Ta!
Adios.
Show me, maybe show me more. I've really shown you, told me